Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Hopefully you can all hear me. Let me know if there's any problems with with the sound or with the image as usual. It should be okay. Evening, Ian. Evening, Stephen. Patiently waiting for the confirmation. Evening, Alf. Evening, Tato. Way-o. Way-o indeed. Yeah, 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 yeah. Getting all excited. Getting all excited, obviously, after the results last time out. Um, Hopefully on the image side, it's also fine. I think it should be. I lost the habit of this, but hopefully you bear with me. I'm sure you will. Okay, everyone says it's fine. Okay, thanks, Al. Thanks, yeah. Thanks for confirming. So let's have an evening, Ross. So have a quick look at what happened last time out. Results on the screen here. Away win for East Coast, away win for Northern Burn, away win for Badgers, away win for Exiles, and then three home wins. Sancte, of course, with getting their season off to a start. The Vikings as well starting to make moves. Stackington dropping down to 14th. Um, it's probably too early to say that a pattern is already forming, but there are certain teams that are doing better than others, and of course now 8 games in, it's not the time when people need to start thinking about um, yeah, getting into gear because if, as we know from experience, it's few teams that come from a very poor position of say like 10, 11 or below at the halfway point and still manage to sneak into the playoffs come the end. But not nothing too dramatic yet. I mean, 7 points between Haggis and Stackington. It's not impossible to catch up, but of course, having a zero in the win column is not something that that any manager would particularly want. Of course, Exile Stanley slots. So that's pretty much in very easy reach of the top three. So nothing to be too concerned about. And of course, with Sancti and Vikings seeming to have the season kicked off now with that win or with those wins, then who knows? Who knows what the next couple of weeks will bring? Um, we have a look at the fixtures as we've got them here. I've not had any requests to go early or late. Um, so I'll leave the floor open. If anyone has any request to go early or late, then I'll try and accommodate it, of course. And if not, we will just roll as yeah, as the games come up. We have got, as mentioned previously, we have got seven of the no, six of the top seven is what I'm trying to say. Six of the top seven are all at home, so tricky away ties for Stanley, Sloss, Stackington, Sancte, Vikings, and Los Santos, Haggis, and Foss Road, fifth and sixth, clashing in the final game. Um, there doesn't seem to be anyone requesting an early kickoff, so we will just go with whatever is thrown at us. Colchester and Vikings. I haven't seen Dan yet, so we'll probably see if we can pick another one of someone who's here. And I do know that Paul is struggling with his internet connection, but he has sent me some instructions. Oh, perfect timing indeed. There you are, Dan. Welcome, welcome. Here's your setup. As usual, I have gone through the squads, so they should all be according to your instructions. If you spot anything, please make me aware and I'll try and change it. And as mentioned last time, when you do the half-time things or any like other stuff, then please make sure that you put all of it in one sentence. I'd rather wait the extra 10, 15, 20 seconds rather than because you know how quickly the game goes. I don't want to mess up any of your halftime changes or anything like that. So, Fulchester's had an interesting day. I've had an interesting run. Three defeats on the trot. Not the best for them, not the best for them, but they do have a good start to the season to look back on. So maybe they can refine that form. It's a question of how long the manager is going to keep playing Anelka. Of course, one goal in three with Torres with two and three on the bench. That is an option, but of course you want to keep Anelka happy. So we'll see how that goes for Fulchester. They're up against the Vikings. who found a win last time out, Evening Mike. And yeah, a good result for them, 2-0, 2-0 win. And Paul has got some instructions. Of course, he's interested in in scoring goals. He has gone with Estebaria for Aymar. I think that was the change that they made. May my game be next? Sure, indeed, Ross. Yep. We can pick that one up next, no problem. He has got other options. He did mention something about Palermo, but he doesn't appear to be on the bench, so I might have done that incorrectly. I'll just quickly double check that. He says swap Aymar for Estebaria. Let's see if Henry is sub off for Palermo, but he doesn't have Palermo on the bench, so that's going to be a challenge. But anyway, we'll run and we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure where that comes from, that potential substitution, but we'll run with it as it is. So as we are ready, I do have to apologize. I have some problems with the backup for this. Right, okay, it should be okay now. Sorry for the technical glitch there. We'll kick off the first game, Fulchester against Vikings. It was a good early start for Anelka. He was involved there, but didn't get a goal. Yellow card for Michael Stewart. Um, an old favorite of mine, of course. Anelka must score, but doesn't. Looks as if there have been plenty of chances. Vikings have definitely had a fair bit, but Fulchester also seeing a lot of the ball. One of the better first halves compared to last week where we had a couple of dull ones. Beckham involved as well. And we reached half time without any scores. It's been pretty much all Fulchester. Not a lot of Vikings. I did see that there were few times I'm sure I saw Vikings players coming forward, but the appears to have been a deception. And we'll have a quick look at the stats. Defensively, they're doing relatively well. It's all eights and sevens attacking, struggling with the sixes. I'll just double check Paul's instructions. If drawing at halftime, leave as is. Okay, so we'll leave it as is, and Dan says leave it as well. So that's where we're going to do it. That's the way we're going to do it. No fitness concerns, and kind of the same. Sevens at the back and eights and six up front. We run till 60. Oh, and it's Seedorf who opens the scoring for Fulchester. I think the Nielsen with the assist probably. And we come to 63 and we stop it at Fulchester's, where they have the early advantage. They have the advantage. I won't say it's early. Seedorf on an 8. The rest of the attacking players on a 7. Torres is still on the bench, who could potentially come on. He wants to see Torres. We would all like to see Torres and see if he can come in and grab the second. Let me double check Paul's instructions because his team are definitely in the category of struggling. Yes, yes, the Berea struggles, sub for Aymar. Okay, so let's see. The Palermo thing I can do nothing about, but Estebaria and Hersey is struggling less. Estebaria is. So we pop Aymar on for him there. I think that's going to be it. And we run till full time. Still pretty much all Fulchester, although here is why Vikings coming forward here, and we had a chance to put it over the bar. Still coming forward. It looks to be a little bit more Vikings here, but oh, there he is, Fernando Torres, sending a big signal to his manager. Wants to start the next game for sure. That's 4-3. Not a lot of players in the league can match that. And indeed, it finishes 2-0 Fulchester. Good to see them get back to winning ways. Sadly for Vikings, it wasn't quite enough for them. Very dominant display. Not a huge amount of additional shots in the second half, but they were the ones that counted. Vikings are pretty wasteful. We have a look at who were the main culprits. Sorochinski with 2 and Thierry Henry with 3 shots, none of them hitting the target. I think the manager will be best pleased at all. Aymar came on and did not do a lot. Ended up with a 6. In terms of the performance for the home side, it was assists for Vogel and Seedorf. It was goals for Seedorf and for Fernando Torres. Michael Stewart on a 9. What a talent he is. David Beckham only picking up a 7. along with Lucio being the poorest performers on the night. But overall, very strong home win for Fulchester, get their season back on track after that slight hiccup of 3 defeats. Ross requested to go next, so we will do that. We will pick Stackington against East Coast, and Dimble is here for sure as well. This is how Stackington line up. The four up front, we've got Rivaldo, Binotto. It's a bit of a change from last time out when they were still in the kind of a donutty formation, so plenty of changes here. We get to see Bolano as well, Bolaño, if you, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Cole Contra, and the rest of the gang. Jermaine Defoe, not someone we see often, but could be interesting. Oh, you're playing Haggis. Indeed, yes, you're playing the Scots. Or one of the Scots, anyway. Buffon been good for Stackington so far this season, but haven't been able to completely shore up their defense or prevent them from conceding a bunch of goals. But he has been putting in some strong performances. Could be worse without him. They're up against East Coast, who I believe go unchanged after their 2-1 win at Dudley Hill. Let's have a look. Indeed, it is unchanged. Um, and yeah, not much to say. They had a good result last time out against Dudley after stuttering a little bit as well. Ian Robin looking especially dangerous at the moment, and we'll see if he can continue his form. And tonight's game, they are at home to Stackington. Ah, yeah, there are some set piece takers here and there that have gone missing. I don't put anyone in unless you specifically want me to, and I also don't delete them. So you can take this little pop-up message as a reminder if you want to assign new ones. Let's kick this one off. East Coast hosting Stackington. It'd be nice for Scott to win a game. Hopefully, it's not a draw. It's a conversation I'm somehow not aware of. Oh, it's Constantino who opens scoring for East Coast. I almost missed that. There have been a lot of chances at the beginning, and there is Ian Robin. East Coast definitely found some form now, with Robin getting involved as well in the previous game and in this one. And there's a penalty. Ronaldinho takes it, and after just half an hour, well, coming up to half time now, it's 3-0 for East Coast. So commiserations, Ross. Of course, there is a way back into this, but not sure if you'll necessarily find it. After singing Buffon's praises, he's maybe not done a fantastic job. Although 7 shots on target, that's a very strong East Coast performance there. Have a look at Stackington first. Our central defenders not looking too good. Petrov and Bolaño in the center of midfield also being overrun a little bit. Dimble going as is, unsurprisingly, giving his team's first half performance. I'll show you the fitness just in case, but there are no concerns. Constantino with 2 assists already. Penalty must have been against him as well then. Meanwhile, Stackington, Ross, if there's any changes you want to make at halftime, then please confirm, and if not, we will roll till 60. As mentioned, it was looking like the away sides were in general going to have a tricky time tonight, and it's proven to be true so far. Also, as is, can't uh, can't get much worse. 2 at the back versus 4 at the back is a non-event. Wow, well, some testing might prove otherwise, but indeed, in general, that would be the observation there, Liam. That's indeed. It's also rather confusing that you're using your Liam instead of your Tato account, but there we go. Right, the second half. Let's take it to the hour and see what happens. Looks as if it's more East Coast here in the beginning of the second half. Balcher getting involved as well. Yep, that has very much been all East Coast and not a lot of Stackington. I'll show you quickly here, Dimble, if you want to do anything. Nakata's on the 7, if you want to try someone else in center of midfield. If not, then I guess it's going to be all good. Ross, it's bad news, I'm afraid. No improvement since halftime. Could I go 10? I could go 10 at the back and still get, potentially. You could go 10 at the back. If you would like to make any changes, then please let me know. Giving Comandini a run, maybe. Del Piero. Oh, Salas for Nakata, two on top, Aaron Ronaldinho. Very good. Salas for Nakata, two up top, arrow on Ronaldinho. Going in for the kill here. Um, yeah, Ross, over to you if you want to counter that or if you want to leave your guys to just soak up the pressure and see how it goes with that space in midfield. Omdini for Petro put up top central to Bolano, that's it. So we go like this and Petro goes for Comandini. I believe Comandini for Petro put up top central Bolano, that's all. Good, good, good. Two up top. And the two forwards as well. It's not often that you see them in the Super League, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe not tonight, but maybe on another night it might be a thing. Yeah, time passes quickly. Just 7 minutes to play here, and looks as if the result is not going to be in doubt. Can anyone get another goal though? No, it doesn't look like it. No, Buffon manages to keep the the clean sheet for the remainder of the game anyway. So solid performance from him. I don't think any of the other guys really. It says here that Oliver de Cour was good enough for an 8. I'm not sure if that's really if his manager would share that interpretation, but of his performance. But there you go. If we look over at East Coast, not a lot changed, of course, since halftime. A couple more shots on goal that Buffon saved. A very strong performance from them. And yeah, one of the preseason favorites, I think, as they always are under Dimble's uh, expert guidance. Looks as if they're heading in the right direction. Don't know what I'm doing wrong. No matter just can't get the performance going. Well, sometimes it's like that. There have been teams that got off to a much worse start. So you just have to keep tinkering and see what you can do. Unlimited transfers as well is what you all asked for, so they are there if anyone wants to to help you out or to provide some suggestions or some reinforcements, then that's obviously an option. We move on to Northern Bern against Los Santos. A couple of changes enforced for Los Santos. They have Salva, Tristan, and Vasiliuk all out injured. San comes in, goes up top. Guerrero goes in at AMC in a more natural position. Yes, Duggan, I did notice that. So I did not comment on it at all, but thanks for bringing it up. Um, Thanks for bringing that up. Los Santos, a bit of a stop-start, mostly stop-start to the season that they've had. They will not be enjoying a trip to Northern Bern. At least that's what the predictions would say. But in the in the league, you never know what's going to happen. Um, I'm going to hazard a guess and say that Ian went unchanged. So let's not dwell too long on that. I think one story that's been of the season so far is Riquelme's performance. 7-3-4, 7-7, and 729 average. None of this makes any sense. Riquelme with a forward arrow and those kind of returns. I didn't see that one coming, but Ian has 3 stars and I clearly don't. So that's maybe one of the things. We kick this one off as well and see if Northern Bern can beat Los Santos. Certainly off to a good start. 5 minutes in, Lee Young Pure opens his account. Dede is never going to get back into this one. Ferguson has one disallowed immediately after. Um, how good is Ayala? That's a good question, Andrew. How good is Cole? 2 goals up. Another very, very solid home performance here. See if it continues until half time. Yellow card was given just before. Yeah, indeed. It's predicted. Another very, very strong home side and a struggling away side for the third time this evening. If we look at the performance from the Los Santos side, that's a lot of fives. No one is going to be happy with that. Jamie, definitely not. Ian says as is. I'll show you if you have any fitness concerns, Ian. You should consider that. Harry Kewell with the assist and Inzaghi with the other assist. and no fitness concerns, so we will go as is. Um, Evening, Alex. I mean, the work Lee Yong-pyo's putting in to keep Daddy out of the side is very impressive. And I'm not sure if Jamie is around. Um, give it a couple of seconds just in case, but I am not sure that Runje, Lysands, Henshaw, or Overmars are necessarily the answers to any of his questions. Doesn't appear to be the case, so we'll run this to 60 and see if anything changes. They did have that goal by Ferguson disallowed earlier on, but it's Inzaghi who makes it three. Um, and almost on the hour. Ebisand, another player I've never managed, says Andrew. Well, it might be worth a try. You can, if you have a millions of pounds, then you can always pick him up early on. I think they're always relatively happy to sell him. You often see him go to Berlin or somewhere else. Might be worth a shot. I don't think he's going to be better than a lot of other players. Anyway, we're on the hour. I don't know. Ian might do something. No, he isn't. He's not doing anything. As is. Yeah. Mr. Consistent over on the Los Santos side. I've not seen Jamie about, so we will run for the last half hour and see if anything changes. Any chance we can bet on the next one? Of course you can. If you can find anyone willing to take the bet, I'm not. There's no law against that. I'm not in a financial position to take bets, clearly. And even if I was, I don't think I fully understand the logic behind it, so it would be a bad idea. Meanwhile, the game's coming to an end, and it stays 3-0. Another home win. I won't say unsurprisingly, but Ayala is absolutely pony. Right, down with the kids. Does that even mean? Nah, yeah, anyway. Um, Los Santos did come back into it a bit in the second half, or at least in the last half hour. A couple more shots on target. Let's see if any of the fives disappeared. They kind of did. Sari and Ferguson still on five. Ferguson will be sad that he had that goal disallowed very early on. I think it was like 10 minutes or something. Pizarro has strayed into an offside position indeed. Just after the opener, they had a chance to pull one back, but it was ruled out for offside. Meanwhile, over at Northern Bern, this is what it looked like. Riquelme got the last of the assists, keeping up the pace. That's now 8-8, improving his average a little bit. Ian will be delighted. Um, Next up, Mr. Tato against Mr. Savage. The badges, I believe, are unchanged after their tremendous performance at Los Santos. Rayad with his three assists, CC Roberts with two goals, and new signing Pierre with one. Very, very impressive by the reigning champions. They are up against Stanley, who's done something that will be spoken about in the Super League for sure. I think you will all notice that Sigalco is playing at AMC, and I believe that's correct. I will double check. Um, indeed. Mike even tweeted it. He even tweeted that this is how he's going. So, yeah, I'm not make of it. I'm not sure what to make of it, but and no arrow as well. I mean, it's wild. It's wild, really. But and brave. So who knows? It might work out. Zanoni will be no doubt be or Candela rather, will no doubt be the busiest, as he has to try and stop Rayard. Which side is Rayard on again? Remind me. Either way, one of the fullbacks from Retro Stanley will be super busy trying to keep Rayard busy, quiet rather, with his three assists in the bag from the last one. Very very impressive. Coming in for one of the injured Polish players that I forget. Right, gigs left. True. I just thinking outside the box by placing Tigalco outside of the box. Is that is that how it works? The logic of some of these decisions will never fail to impress me. We kick it off. Badgers against Stanley, looking for the fourth home win of the evening. Fifth goal of the season. Was it the fifth goal of the season for Nikiforenko? That can't be right. Anyway, that's what happened on half an hour. Badgers took the lead. Um, they've been. I was going to say they've not been as dominant as they were against Los Santos, but it's getting kind of close. They've just not created that many chances. Two shots, two on goal. Stanley just with the one. Let's have a look at the individual performances. Uh, yeah, it's so-so. I mean, Sigalko with no shots on target, losing four of his five headers. Not sure he's enjoying, particularly enjoying that position. Um, Fitness-wise, I believe there are no concerns. I appreciate it can be difficult to see on the smaller screen. Meanwhile, Potatoes, reigning champions, an assist for Mendieta of all people. Um, not seen him getting involved a lot this season so far. Nothing at all. Yeah, that's his first contribution indeed. And Nikiforenko with a goal. My manager will be very happy to see Pierre involved as well. Um, right. Tato goes as is. I will see if Mike has any requests. Meanwhile, Al, why are England players training on mountain bikes and getting injured? No wonder they have no energy cycling up and down hills. That's an interesting observation. Who's who's cycling up and down hills? Is that a story that I've missed somehow? I mean, I don't know why I pretend I'm so curious. I genuinely don't care, but I'm surprised. Gordon fell off his bike. Yeah, this is how much I follow football. I have no idea who Gordon is. Um, Sigalko up to SC, right of the front three. Aha, indeed, right of the front three. Scally to MC next to Semak. Semak arrow to AMC. Presume centralized, but if anything else, then I'll be happy to do that. But I believe this is correct. Perfect. Scally is better DMC. That's a wonderful story, Tatum. You got reported for spam, for for spamming people on an anonymous account. Perfect. Uh, it does look as if Stanley's had a bit more luck here in the first 15 minutes. Not a bit more luck, but they've certainly had a bit more in terms of chances. Indeed, a couple of chances. One of them even hit the target. Um, and nothing else for Badgers so far. Let's have a look at the stats. Sigalko on a 6. He can still improve, while Pinto is also on a 6. Nicky Butt on a 6. That's unusual to see that, but overall not looking too bad, and things are moving in the right direction in terms of chances. We'll have a look at the badges as well. Rayard is on a 7, not been able to replicate his form from last game so far. Pierre's also on a 7. CC Roberts on a 6. It's easy for Rossini, please. That'll do. I can feel an equalizer coming. Don't have a lot of patience with your strikers, I feel, but that's fair enough. And Mike says, as is, he can see the tide turning in his favor. Let's see if the last hour will bring some luck. And a goal for them. Sigalko sends it horribly wide. Very uncharacteristic of him. As if Stanley's had the slightly better of it, but of course, sucker punch by Rossini. That's clear. That's how it's gonna go. Nikiforenko getting involved as well. Let's see if they're going to put the dagger in right here at the last couple of minutes. Uh, and they keep having chances, though. I think it's just unfortunate for them that the finishing hasn't been up to par. Let's have a quick look. Indeed, 5 shots on target for both sides, Badgers with 4 on target, and Stanley with just the 2. Chicago on a 6, very, very wasteful evening from him. Probably cost the away side in the end. And it's another home win. Ryan Giggs with the assist, Davids with the Man of the Match award. Rossini comes in, gets an 8 and a goal. Congratulations to the Badgers and commiserations to Savage and his Stanley team. Although I do feel as if with slightly sharper finishing, or it would have been could have been a little bit better for them. But fourth home win of the evening. And we continue with Foss Road and Haggis. And no betting on the games. Um, this is how they line up. Tomadera is back on the bench. Ian not in the chat as I am aware. So we click past that. I think it was just the one change for Foss Road. I forget what it was, but I think it was just the one change. Indeed, the right wing side. Muslimovic comes in for. Uh, I can't be right. Sambrota comes in for. Indeed. Sambrota comes in. I hope this is right. Indeed. B bet. Nah, yeah. My eyesight is not what it used to be. Or maybe you did. I genuinely thought you asked if you could put a bet on the next game. I don't know what. Perfect. Perfect. Here you are then. At home to the Haggis. On paper, the most even game of the evening. Indeed, I scrolled up and I checked. He didn't. I know he didn't. I don't know why I heard that or saw that. Either way, we let's move on from this topic and kick this one off so Carl can get to bed. Juan Gomez opens the scoring from 30 yards out for Haggis. Foss Road goes from bad to worse. Even Helguero picks up 2 yellow cards. Who was that? Was it the Czech Republic that had a guy sent off for 2 yellows on 19 minutes? Even Helguera outdoing them, picking up 2 yellows in the space of just 13 minutes. Paddy Power already paid out on them. Yeah, probably did. Probably did. As is, or you want to do something with your red card. Nick Matulin already on a 5 after they let the one shot go in, so probably. Um, Ortega for Yakubu into DMC. Ortega Yakubu into DMC. Any arrows? On the wrong, I mean, not just arrows in general. That's it. Okay, we go. Paid off immediately. Paid off immediately. I think we were discussing that whether there was a stat on how many games have actually gone in the opponent's way when someone gets a red card. Still hanging on, coming up to half time. Crespo's still there. A couple of chances. Definitely not been going all the away side's way. Although they did come forward just before the half time. 4 shots for the home side, 3 for the away side. And yeah, pretty level, given that one team has an additional player. I don't believe there are any instructions from Ian, but I will double check. No, there wasn't. So it's entirely up to you if you want to change anything. Who was in on a 7? Everyone's fitness is doing kind of pretty good. Or we roll till 60. As is. Good. My goodness, that's 60 already. Apologies. I didn't see that coming. Well done, Cambiaso. You're 2-1 up. I believe that happened a little bit quickly, so let's just have a quick look here. Yeah, Cambiaso indeed scored. I'm not sure what's happening there, but we must have stopped it right on that happening. So if you want to continue as is, then feel free to do so. Of course, Alex or Santa Cruz on the bench, you can maybe think about getting involved. Crespo's on a 6. Maybe Santa Cruz would do better. While you contemplate that, I will have a quick look at the Haggis side so Ian can see that when he watches it back. Said and Petkov. Foss Road goes as is. Excellent, excellent. Let's see if the comeback will still be on come the end of the game. Again, it just jumps forward 20 minutes, nothing really happening. 10 minutes left now. We'll probably slow this down a little bit. The first kind of real tight finish to the game that we've had so far. Yeah, Coop have been immense, it would appear. Certainly been involved in a lot, breaking down a lot of the attacks. Oh, probably should have made it 3 there and put the game to bed, but they didn't. Will they pay for that? Kluivert has the goal. Thuram hacks it off the line. 3 minutes added on. And away side are trying to find the equalizer, but it doesn't look like they're going to get it. Indeed, they fail to take advantage of playing for probably the best part of 75, 78 minutes with 77 really, with with 11 against 10, but failed to capitalize on that. And it's Foss Road who picks up the 3 points. Another win for the home side. It's the wrong man of the match. He got the goal, no assists for anyone. Or on the Haggis side, also no assists, but a goal for Gomez for that 30-yard shot he had in the first half. Great win for Foss Road, indeed, indeed, Alex. I fully agree. All home wins tonight. Maybe I should have had a bet on Dudley beating Sloths. The answer is to play with 10 men. It often is. It often is. Um, Sloths against Dudley Hill is the one coming up now. Indeed, indeed. We are on version 8 of the narrow. The AMCs have disappeared, and there's now a bunch of players down here, some of them with arrows. I do believe that's the first time we've seen that kind of setup this season. Keeping it narrow, but with a slight tweak there. Plus are, as mentioned, up against Dudley Hill, who are putting Marquinhos in, I think is the change for Mark Kerr, I believe. Oh, shouldn't have played that up. Indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And Tony. Aha, indeed, indeed. Striker came up as well. Um, striker swap as well. I believe that's the correct changes for Dudley Hill. Had a good game, then had a bad game. They had good games before that, and they are, of course, still second in the league. Let's see how they do against Sloths. Beast that is David Collins. I'm not so sure about the beast that's David Collins, but we'll see. We'll see what he does, or if he can be involved. And if the Rapulis has been involved, I've seen a couple of saves from him already. Not a bunch of chances for the away side so far. Terry picks up a yellow card, and Johnson, and a penalty claim is turned down. So a bunch of action, none of it really resulting in a goal, at least not so far. There's Collins coming forward. Trezeguet as well. They're trying their best, Dudley Hill. They've certainly had the better of the first half. He will score at least one. I doubt it. I doubt it. Dudley Hill had by far the best of the first half. Over on the Sloth side, it's a bunch of sixes and no fitness concerns. But as mentioned, sixes across the board. Johnson on a yellow. For Dudley Hill, a couple of eights down at the back. John Terry on a yellow. 6 for Cisse, Marquinhos, Collins, Trezeguet, and Shevchenko. Condition-wise, you are all good to go. Any changes from either manager at halftime? Coney for Trezeguet. All his goals have come from the bench. That's what we do. And Tony for Trezeguet. And over at Sloths, it's Smith for Keane. Good. If that's it, then we'll run till 60 and see if anyone can find an opener here. Cashman coming forward. I think both team had a shot, or it looks like both teams had a shot anyway. Um, Erigado doing probably the best player on the pitch so far. He's on a 9. Everyone else is on 6s and 7s. So I'll leave that for you to consider, Steve, if you want to make any changes for the last 27 minutes. Uh, Al says he keeps losing by the odd goal. You haven't conceded it yet, though, so you might still not. Here is your ratings, and here are your lack of, well, there are no fitness concerns, not lack of fitness, of course, but there are no fitness concerns. Performance concerns, though, potentially. Marquinhos arrow to AMC, please, mate. That's all, so we do that. Meanwhile, over at Sloths, Alf, any tactical changes for you? Players moving around or substitutions? Be interesting to see Grodke get a run. That's not advice that you necessarily need to take, by the way, because I don't think it's particularly good. While we're at it, did I mention that Denmark are into the next round of the Euros? We'll see. Germany. I'm not overly hopeful, but you never know. You never know. Grind out a draw, sneak through on penalty. Gronke for Rosicki, indeed. We will do that. Anything else? If not, then we will just run for the remainder. You bought a Denmark training shirt. Right. Well, I'm pleased. I'm pleased for you, of course. I don't know why, but I'm pleased. I don't know why you bought it, but I'm pleased for you. You like the design? I mean, a red training shirt. I mean, why not? Meanwhile, meanwhile, back with the action. Um, it looks as if it's a lot of huffing and puffing still. Marquinhos getting involved now. He's got that arrow up to the AMC role. I've seen a bit more of him. That's Kessman picking up an injury. Um, you feel like you're half Danish with all the Leicester links. Is that many? Or maybe I just don't pay attention to football enough. I suppose Michael is not there anymore, surely. Any other ones? A defender, maybe? Four. You have four Danish players at Leicester? I don't think so. Goalkeeper Hermansen. I've heard of him. Central defender Vestergaard. Yeah, I've heard of him. He plays for the national team. Christensen. I don't know which one. The one who was at Leeds and Rome? Ah, yeah, okay, if you count him as well. Your left back Victor. Indeed, indeed. Right, yeah. Well, they're all decent enough players. Alf, any or you are still considering your options with the Kessman injury? Any suggestions? From who? I mean, Gronke is a forward. You could put him up and then put Raymer in midfield, move some people around. I mean, I can't really. Smith up front on his own, AMC introduced. I mean, go wild and go wide. I don't know. I mean, it's not really. I mean, I can decide, but that seems a little bit unnecessary. But in the interest of time, I'm happy to do so. Those are our suggestions. This one, this one, and this one. That's probably what I would have done as well. We take the last 14 minutes and see what happens. If Jesper Grønkjær can be the unlikely match winner. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Who said David Collins were going to score? He did. And who said that they lose by the odd goal? And they did. Predictions came through. Commiserations, Alf. Um, a bit of luck. No one likes to concede in the 90th minute, but that's indeed what's happened. Um, Ryan Johnson, man of the match. Everyone else did not particularly well. Fiore and Costa probably okay. Makalele as well. Another tactical variation. I think it's worked better earlier in the season. Hopefully, Brookings is back to full form soon. This was unfortunate. I think to not get at least a point, but performance-wise, it's not been great. Um, what on earth is this? Roberto Carlos somehow gets a 10. Scrape, scrape a 1-0 win in the 90th minute, and it's 8s and 9s and 10s all over the board. Perfect. Well done. Well deserved, Steve. Um, Exiles against Sancti. Last game of the evening. Duggan is about. I've not seen Neil. If he is here, then he can pop up, of course, and give instructions. Unchanged, I believe, after the win. Um, so good luck, Duggan and the guys. Exiles, last match was the Sloths win. Indeed, indeed, indeed. The slightly, I won't say surprising, but the hard-fought game against the Sloths. Sal's on a yellow, but I am pretty sure that he said that he wants him to play. I will double check that. Reason. Figo swap, otherwise in changed. Indeed, that is what we have done. Um, so we run like this. Exiles at home to Sancti in the final game. And it's a solid start for the Exiles. They had a couple of good chances, but no goals as yet. Um, there was rebounds and big chances everywhere, but um, not really taking full advantage of the chances. And then it's as usual, the opponents hit them on the break. It's Montella who gives Sancti the lead going into the break 1-0. I thought that'd been more for Exiles, to be completely honest, but it looks as if they only had the one shot on target out of the three. Sancti getting 2 and 1. Solid performances all around. Duggan goes as is. Ambrosini is on a yellow, no fitness concerns. We look at Exiles. Costanzo, it always confuses me that there's Costanzo in the middle. There you go. Overall, not the worst performance, but Christian Vieri will probably be disappointed not to have put at least one of those away. As mentioned, I've not seen Neil in the chat, so we'll probably roll until 60. But this one, Roberto Carlos was nearly dropped after Volodenko came on and did so well. Well, you can't really drop Roberto Carlos, can you? That seems a bit cruel. Seems a bit cruel. We'll run this one till 60 and see what happens. Oh, it's Vieri. Almost on 60, and it's Vieri again. Vieri causes havoc. Indeed, he does, with 2 goals from 2 shots in the first 15 minutes of the second half. Exile's stats are as Paulinho Santos on a 9, Vieri on an 8 with his 2 goals. Some comeback this. Paulinho Santos and Zé Roberto getting the goals. Duggan goes as is without delving into the details of his squad. He knows that Owen Takinadi and Broncos are not the answers that he's going to be looking for. He keeps faith in the guys. Let's see if it pays off last half hour. They're definitely trying. A good chance for them there, and Pens are getting involved. Thought he needs to be careful picking up a yellow. All the action coming in the second half, but it looks as if we're heading for another home win with just 5 to play. take down the pace a little bit. We can all enjoy the last couple of minutes of this, 2 minutes of added time. And 3 still to play. Will it be enough? Back gets it all wrong, goes harmlessly wide. Here comes Impenza with a header. Great football for Sancte, but no goal, unfortunately, for them. They do have a couple more minutes to try and find that equalizer, but it wasn't to be. Marvelous 5 minutes for Christian Vieri there. 2 goals for him. Gives Exiles the win at home. 8 shots, 5 on target, 6 and 2 for the opponents. Ambrosini letting the side down on a 5 and a yellow. Everyone doing pretty well. Mike Duff on a 9. Back was the one who got the assist. Over here, we've got man of the match, Christian Vieri. 8s and 9s. Someone checked that Vieri. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. It might be worth checking. I wouldn't know how to do such things, of course. So I take no responsibility. Um, anyway, as you can see, away wins across the board. I won't say no surprises there, but there kind of wasn't. Wins for all the favorites, and Northern Burn, I mean, confirmed first spot. Dudley follows them. Not a lot of changes in the top. Gap opening up between Stackington and Exiles. I guess it's one additional point now, from 14th up to 6th compared to what it was previously. Northern Burn with 8 points down to 7th. Really strong start to this season for them. The fixtures, as you can see them here, some of the top 6 sides are away, at least. Boss Road traveling to the Dudley side, who got that win against Sloth in the last minute. East Coast are in top form, but so are Exiles. They meet Haggis, who were not able to capitalize against 10 men. Will host Fulchester. Los Santos take on Stackington, a chance for Stackington maybe to get something. Sancte against the reigning champions, the Badgers. And Worms up next. Oh yeah, well, is it a bogey team? Can you call it that? Slots at home to Northern Burn, that's a tricky one, and Stanley host the Vikings. So that concludes the action. Any comments or observations? Feel free to drop them in the chat or in the official chat. And if not, then I'll speak to you all soon again. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Ian. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good luck with the Euros and Slovakia and all that. And we'll see how Denmark get on as well. I believe that you will all be cheering for us, of course. Thank you. Good night.